Hi everyone, welcome to Talkie English. If you're learning English, you're in the right place. We'll practice today with a fascinating story. Support us by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let's start learning.
Welcome to our English story series. In this video, you will learn English by following the story of Donald Trump, a businessman, TV star, and the 45th President of the United States. He is one of the most famous and most talked about people in the world. Some people admire him, others criticize him, but almost everyone knows his name. Donald Trump's life is full of big moments, big ideas, and big controversies. He became rich with real estate, he became famous with television, and he became powerful through politics. This story is not only about money and power, it is also about ambition, leadership, success, and failure. You will learn how he started in business, how he became president, and what happened after he left the White House. At the same time, you will improve your listening and vocabulary skills with real-life English at level B1. Let's begin the story of Donald Trump and learn English along the way. Chapter 1, Early Life and Family. Donald Trump was born on June 14th in 1946 in New York City, in the United States. He was the fourth of 5 children. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer. He built houses and apartment buildings. In New York, the Trump family was already wealthy. Donald's mother, Mary, came from Scotland. She moved to America when she was young. She was kind and quiet, while Fred was strong and strict. From a young age, Donald liked to be the center of attention. He was full of energy, confident, and competitive. He always wanted to win. At school, at games, in life, but sometimes he caused trouble. He didn't follow the rules and he liked to fight. When he was 13, his parents sent him to a military school. They wanted him to learn discipline and respect. At the military school, Donald learned to follow orders and to lead other students. He became stronger, more focused, and more serious. Even as a teenager, Donald Trump said he wanted to be rich and famous. He wanted to be bigger and better than everyone else. He looked up to his father and wanted to follow in his footsteps, but on a much larger scale. His childhood and family taught him 2 big lessons: how to compete and how to think. Big. These lessons would shape the rest of his life. Chapter 2, Education and First Steps in Business. After military school, Donald Trump went to college. He studied at Fordham University for 2 years. Then he transferred to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the top business schools in the US. He studied economics and real estate, just like his father. He graduated in 1968. After college, Donald joined his father's company. It was called Elizabeth Trump and Son. The company built homes and apartment buildings in the outer parts of New York City. Donald had new ideas. He didn't just want to build small homes. He wanted to build big, luxury buildings in Manhattan, the center of New York. In 1971, he took control of the company and later changed the name to the Trump Organization. He started working on big projects, tall skyscrapers, expensive hotels, and famous casinos. He wanted the Trump name to be a symbol of success. One of his first big projects was the Grand Hyatt Hotel. It became very popular and made Trump famous in New York. He often appeared in newspapers and on TV. He liked attention and knew how to use the media. Even in the beginning, Trump said, "Think big and live large." His business journey had officially started, and he was ready to build his empire. Chapter 3, Building the Trump Empire. During the 1980s, Donald Trump became a very well-known businessman. He built big towers, luxury hotels, and casinos. He wanted everything to be famous, expensive, and grand. He named many of his buildings after himself. Trump Tower, Trump Plaza, Trump Taj Mahal, and more. He believed the Trump name was a powerful brand. He also started a private airline, bought a football team, and published a book called The Art of the Deal. In this book, he explained his way of thinking in business. The book was a big success. People saw him as a smart, strong, and bold businessman. He became a symbol of money and power. But his career was not always perfect. In the early 1990s, Trump had serious financial problems. Some of his casinos and businesses lost a lot of money. He had to declare bankruptcy more than once. Still, Trump did not give up. He found ways to save his company and pay his debts. He said that failure is just part of the game. He stayed in the spotlight and used the media to his advantage. By the 2000s, the Trump name was back. He didn't just sell buildings anymore, he sold the Trump brand itself. People paid to use his name on buildings, clothes, water, even steaks. The Trump brand became a business by itself. Trump had created a public image of success and strength, an image he would later use in television and politics. Chapter 4. TV Fame. The Apprentice. In 2004, Donald Trump became even more famous, not as a businessman, but as a TV star. He started a reality show called The Apprentice. In the show, people competed for a job working for Trump's company. Each week, the group completed business tasks. At the end of every episode, Trump looked at the results and said his famous line, "You're fired." That phrase became popular all over the world. Trump's style on the show was strong, serious, and confident. He spoke directly, made quick decisions, and showed himself as a true leader. The Apprentice was a big hit. Millions of people watched it. It made Trump a household name, even for people who didn't know about business. The show helped Donald Trump build an even stronger brand. He showed power, success, and control. He wore suits, lived in luxury, and made everything seem bigger than life. For many viewers, Trump became a symbol of the American dream, a man who had it all and made others fight for a chance to work with him. He later created a new version of the show called The Celebrity Apprentice, where famous people competed for charity. For over a decade, Trump used television to build his image and connect with the public. He was no longer just a businessman. He was now a global celebrity. This new fame gave him something very important, a loyal audience, and that would play a big role in his next move. Chapter 5. Entering Politics. For many years, Donald Trump talked about politics. He gave interviews, shared his opinions, and sometimes said he might run for president. People didn't take him seriously at first. He was known as a businessman and a TV star, not as a political leader. But Trump had strong views. He spoke about America's economy, immigration, crime, and foreign countries. He often said that America was losing and needed to win again. He believed that politicians were weak and that the country needed a strong businessman to fix it. In 2015, Trump made a big announcement. He was running for President of the United States. He was a candidate for the Republican Party. His campaign was different. He spoke in a very direct and simple way. He didn't use political language. He used social media, especially Twitter, to share his thoughts with the world. Some people liked his style. They felt he was honest and strong. Others thought he was rude, offensive, and dangerous. Trump promised to build a wall on the border with Mexico to protect American jobs and to put America first. His message was clear. Make America great again. Many people across the country supported him. They were tired of traditional politicians. They wanted something new. And Trump was different. His campaign became one of the most talked about events in the world. And soon he would shock the world even more. Chapter 6. The 2016 Election and Becoming President. The 2016 US presidential election was one of the most surprising in history. Donald Trump was the Republican candidate. His opponent was Hillary Clinton from the Democratic Party. Clinton had many years of political experience. She was a former Secretary of State, Senator, and First Lady. Many people thought she would win easily, but Trump ran a very different campaign. He had no experience in government, but he spoke to the people in a simple and strong way. He said he would protect American workers, fix the economy, stop illegal immigration, and bring jobs back to the US. He promised to be a president for the people, not for the political class. His message, "Make America Great Again," became very popular. Many people wore red hats with this phrase. He also used Twitter every day to speak directly to the public, without the news media. The election was very close. On November 8, 2016, Donald Trump won. He became the 45th President of the United States. Many people were shocked. It was the first time a businessman with no political experience became president of the country. His victory was historic and also divisive. Some people were excited and hopeful. Others were worried and angry. But one thing was clear: Donald Trump had changed American politics forever. Chapter 7: Time in the White House. Donald Trump officially became president on January 20th, 2017. His time in the White House was unlike any other. He brought a business style to the government. He made quick decisions, fired people often, and used social media to share his thoughts every day. He focused on the economy, jobs, and immigration. He reduced taxes, cut government rules, and made new trade deals. Under his leadership, the US economy grew quickly, especially before the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump also worked to build a wall on the border between the US and Mexico. He said it would help stop illegal immigration. Some people supported it. Others strongly disagreed. In foreign policy, Trump did things differently. He met with leaders from North Korea, talked tough with China, and pushed allies in NATO to spend more on defense. He also moved the US Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, a controversial decision. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic changed everything. Millions of people got sick, businesses closed, and the country faced many problems. Trump had a strong opinion about how to handle the virus. Some agreed with him. Others said he was not doing enough. During his presidency, the country became more divided. His supporters said he was brave and honest. His critics said he was dangerous and broke important rules. Still, Donald Trump remained one of the most talked-about leaders in the world. His time in office was full of action, controversy, and big decisions. Chapter 8: The 2020 election and its aftermath. In 2020, Donald Trump ran for president again. His opponent was Joe Biden, a former vice president and experienced politician. The election happened during the COVID-19 pandemic. Millions of people voted early or by mail. It was one of the most watched and intense elections in US history. After the votes were counted, Joe Biden was declared the winner. He won both the popular vote and the electoral vote, but Donald Trump did not accept the result. He said the election was stolen and full of fraud, even though many courts found no proof. He and his supporters continued to say that the election was not fair. On January 6, 2021, something shocking happened. A large group of Trump supporters went to the US Capitol during the official count of the electoral votes. They entered the building by force. Windows were broken, politicians had to hide. It was called an attack on democracy. Trump was blamed for encouraging the crowd with his strong words and tweets. Many people were angry and afraid. Because of this, he was impeached by the House of Representatives for a second time, a historic event, but he was not removed from office. After that, Twitter and other platforms banned his accounts, saying he was a danger to public safety. Trump left the White House on January 20, 2021, but he did not disappear. He continued to speak at events and stayed in the news almost every week. The 2020 election and what followed left the country deeply divided. Supporters still believed in him. Opponents believed he had gone too far. It was a moment that changed US history, and Donald Trump was at the center of it. Chapter 9. Life. After the presidency, after leaving the White House in 2021, Donald Trump stayed very active. He did not retire or stay quiet. Instead, he continued to speak at rallies, give interviews, and lead the Republican Party. He created a new social media platform called Truth Social. He used it to share his messages after being banned from Twitter and Facebook. Trump also faced many legal problems. He was investigated for how he handled secret documents, his taxes, and his actions after the 2020 election. Even with these issues, Trump remained popular with millions of Americans. He still had strong support, especially from people who liked his direct style. He also continued to talk about running for president again. In 2022, he officially said he would run in the 2024 election. He wanted to make America great again. Again? Outside of politics, Trump also focused on business. He worked on building his brand, real estate, and growing his media company. He gave speeches at major events, often talking about patriotism, freedom, and the economy. Many people still admired him, others continued to strongly disagree with him, but no one could ignore him. Even after his presidency, Donald Trump stayed in the spotlight as a powerful and controversial figure. Chapter 10. The New Term. What's next for President Trump? Donald Trump is now serving his second term as president. Since January 20, 2025, on his first day back in the White House, he signed a large number of executive orders. He pardoned people from January 6th, issued a national emergency over the border, and started removing many rules from the previous administration. He also created a new government office called the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Elon Musk was appointed to lead this department until May 2025. In the first 100 days, Trump focused on strong actions, tightening immigration, changing federal rules, and challenging international agreements, like the Paris Climate Pact on foreign policy. He pushed for higher NATO spending, met with leaders of Norway and Poland, and supported Ukraine during the war, despite criticism from some judges and lawyers and legal challenges to several of his executive orders. Trump continues playing a very active role in politics. His supporters say he is delivering bold results. His critics worry he is being too powerful, but one thing is clear: Donald Trump is shaping America's future right now. Chapter 11. Recent actions. Panama Canal, Ukraine, mediation and space militarization. In 2025, President Trump took bold actions in three important areas. Panama Canal dispute. President Trump said the Panama Canal is not fairly managed. He said Panama charges the U.S. too much for ships passing through. He also claimed China is gaining too much influence over the canal. He sent Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to Panama to negotiate new security agreements. Hegseth talked about U.S. military and patrol access and ships passing at lower costs. Mediation. In the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Trump tried to mediate a ceasefire in the war between Russia and Ukraine. In February, he held a meeting and phone call with both presidents in Saudi Arabia and the Oval Office. After that, Secretary Rubio and others led peace talks, but the talks have not stopped the fighting. Ukraine and Russia remain in conflict, and Ukraine still opposes Trump's mediation style. militarizing space. The Golden Dome, Trump ordered the creation of a major space defense system called the Golden Dome, launching in 2025 and costing around $175 billion. This system will place weapons in space to intercept missiles. He assigned a Space Force general to lead the project. The Pentagon also shifted budget priorities, more funding for the Air Force, slightly reduced for Space Force. These actions show how President Trump is taking strong steps in global trade, international diplomacy, and national defense. They are bold, controversial, and will have major effects on America's position in the world. Thank you for following the story of Donald Trump. From real estate to reality TV, from the White House to space defense, his journey is full of big dreams, big risks, and big results. Some people admire him, others strongly disagree with him. But no one can deny Donald Trump has shaped history. His story teaches us that confidence, determination, and speaking your mind can take you far. But it also shows the importance of responsibility, respect, and listening to others. So, what do you take from his journey? If you liked this video and want to keep learning English through real-life stories, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us bring you more great content every week. And remember, each story you hear is one step closer to fluency in English. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.